nights, truths on the run. Buried secrets were the ones who dig them up for fun. Headstones in the graveyard where stories reside. We bring back headlines, no place to hide. Try to cover it, but we'll find the trace. Shadows and whispers, no escape from this place. Headstones and headlines, where the truth collides. We'll expose the lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. The headline tells a tale of destiny. From the grave to the page, the truth reads. Cold cases, long leads, nothing gets by. We turn the stones, leave no questions why. You can run, but we're hard on the trail. Every secret's revealed, no matter how stale. There's stones and headlines, where the truth collides. There's no lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. In the dark of the night, we bring it to light. Every crime, every lie, every fight. No stone left unturned, no truth left unsaid. We write the headlines from the graves of the dead. Headstones and headlines, where the truth collides. There's both the lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. Headstones and headlines, where the stories remain. We dig them up, we feel their pain. The truth is out, the case is closed, but our search for justice never slows.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I can't believe that the weekend is pretty much over. It feels like it just started, but back to work tomorrow. So I always say my live isn't going to be long and then it ends up being long, but I did shorten the number of stories that I usually plan on talking about. But of course, as I was getting ready for the live, I see more and more stories that I want to talk about. So we'll just have to do lives throughout the week in regards to those. So thanks everyone for being here. I apologize for being a little late. K Braze, if you're still here, thanks for being here. Turtle Madness, Looking Beyond, Lynn, Georgia Peach, Sinner, good to see you. Hey, AMAC, how's it going? So the first story we have is, it is a bizarre story. And I had seen, the headline was "Missing Child Found After Falling Out of Car." And it was very confusing because a Good Samaritan actually found the baby, 1-year-old, and was on the phone with 911 when the mother, who allegedly threw the baby out of the car, comes back. And I mean, this mother, the way she took the baby back is we'll see. It was all caught on video. So mom is in custody now. Baby is safe. But crazy story. And we also have, just as I was going live, I saw an update in the Jordan DeMay case, which I had talked about quite some time ago, where Jordan was a high school student who took his own life after he was a victim of sextortion. The Nigerians who were responsible for that have been sentenced. So there's an update on that. I have a short video about the Kentucky interstate shooter, which that is bizarre for someone to just start shooting at cars on the interstate. Several people were shot. Thankfully, as what I understand, all will survive, although one of them was shot in the face. So it could be dramatized because it was media. Either way, super scary. And I hope that all of those who were affected, make a full recovery physically. Emotionally, I would be paranoid of driving on the interstate. Craziness. And then I have a story about the Georgia school shooter. Seems that his mom called the school 30 minutes prior to him opening fire. An update in the Baltimore bathroom shooting, boys' bathroom, the high school shooting. And then we have an MRI freak accident, which I have some comments on. And then I do have a heartwarming story for the very end about a dad and his stepson. So there we have 7 total stories. Hey, Oki, how are you? All right, let me add this. So we're going to start with, of course, the missing child found after falling out of moving car. This is from Florida. I believe it's pronounced Hialeah. So missing child found after falling from moving car, mother in custody. And this was from Friday. So there's the baby, and here is the mom. Here's the mom. Following a 15-hour search, Hialeah police were able to locate a mother and her 1-year-old daughter after an earlier incident in which the child fell out of her mother's moving car. Tashay Chelsea Mills, 29, was found in Miramar, while her daughter Cassidy was located in Opelika. Both are now in police custody. A Florida missing child alert was issued Friday morning during the search, but was later canceled. According to Hialeah police, the initial incident happened Thursday night near Northwest 37th Avenue and 54th Street. A witness found the child appearing to be injured and called police. Mills, according to police, returned to the scene, took the child forcibly from the witness, and left without seeking medical help. We received a call of a very concerned citizen who witnessed a young girl being what she thought thrown out of a moving vehicle, said Hialeah police officer Scarlett Hernandez. Anyone of any nature, of any age, can fall out of the car and have very serious injuries. Now imagine a 1-year-old. Surveillance video from a nearby business captured the witness with Cassidy in her arms, attempting to call 911. Moments later, Mills can be seen approaching the witness and snatching her daughter from the witness. And here's just a still photo. We will see the video. That she does snatch her from her arm very, very hard, and she doesn't know if she's injured, said Hernandez. Detectives said Mills never returned back to the intersection where her daughter fell from the car to speak to them. It is unclear who Cassidy was with when she was found in Opelika. Police said Cassidy was taken to Jackson Health North for evaluation. She is now with the Florida Department of Children and Families at the hospital. This won't be tolerated in Hialeah. You cannot just toss, or even by mistake, the child falls out of the car. Where's the car seat? Where's the seatbelt? How are you going to leave her on the scene? And how are you going to snatch her? This is very serious. And again, we're talking about life or death here, said Hernandez. Detectives are working with the state attorney's office to determine possible charges against Mills. So again, Mills is the mom. I mean, the video will speak for itself. One second, I have these out of order. Whoopsie. Okay. All right, so this is from NBC6. Video shows mom snatch away girl who was center of missing child alert. So again, this little girl was reported missing, and the mom is now in custody. And I do want to warn you, the way that the mom, I mean, they use the word snatches. The mom like tore this baby out of this woman's hands. It's hard to watch. So just, viewer discretion advised. Oh, I know, Meg. I know. And thank goodness, the woman saw the baby and, got the baby out of the road and called 911.
I'm not giving you this baby. That is my baby. Okay, but
tonight, the little girl you just saw on the screen being snatched from a woman's arms has been found. This video happened moments after that little girl was thrown out of a car, and the woman taking her away is her mother.
Now, after that incident, police sent out an alert looking for that 1-year-old and her mother who was driving the car at the time. Well, after 15 hours of searching, they were both found.
NBC6 reporter Christian Colon has the details on this story.
hey, are you?
Right, like a rag doll, just went up. And the thing is, I don't think they're sure whether the baby fell out or was thrown out. But as the law enforcement had stated, regardless, the baby should be in safety restraints. The baby should not be able to fall out of a moving car. And how did the door open? Or the window? Was the window open? A 1-year-old? I mean, something doesn't seem right to me. Hey, Glow, how are you?
Hey, it's okay. I'm going to sit down. Come here. Oh, my God. Hello?
I mean, the baby definitely seems like she is limp. Her arm is kind of dangling. She does appear injured, or at least in need of medical attention.
Hello?
A witness stumbled upon the unimaginable when she saw a 1-year-old child getting thrown out of a moving car and left helpless. The witness tried calling 911, but amid that call, the mother returned and yanked her baby back.
Okay, I'm not giving you this baby. That is my baby. Okay, but oh my God, I need you guys to come.
The mother, police say, is Tasha Mills, a 29-year-old convicted felon, according to records.
We received a call that a 1-year-old child was thrown from a moving vehicle. The witness who observed it was behind them. She saw a child on the ground, physically hurt. She picked up the child. She moved to a safer location off the road where she...
Right. And thank goodness that this woman who saw the baby in the road got her to safety, because who knows what could have happened if this woman hadn't been there. And this mother, I mean, if you want to call her that, she just didn't care. She didn't care that her baby was in the road. And then I'm wondering, why did she come back? Clearly she had driven away and then come back later.
attempted to help her call 911.
After more than 15 hours, police found the child in Opelika and rushed her to the hospital.
We're all very happy, very joyful, but we don't know exactly what her injuries were, and that is why she's on her way to Nicholas Children's Hospital.
The mother was found in Miramar and is now being questioned by investigators.
I would say it would be some sort of child abuse, child neglect. But again, that is why we are working with the state attorneys to find exactly the charge that we can charge her with.
Records obtained by NBC6 show it's not the first time Mills has been arrested. In 2020.
And actually, I just want to back up because I want to actually read. Oh, it's kind of hard to read, but it says assault aggravated with a deadly weapon, battery. Those were the charges. And that was in April 2018.
It's not the first time Mills has been arrested. In 2020, she was convicted for punching her mother and launching at her with a kitchen knife. However, recent records...
Wait a minute. Okay, this one I can read. So it says, attempted to take her daughter off by scratching and hitting her as well. During the altercation, the subject went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, black and silver in color, and launched at the victim, stating she was going to kill her. At which point, the mother ran outside, fearing for her life, and called the police. The mother stated her 5-year-old daughter as present during the incident. The defendant, her daughter, was then placed in custody and transported to somewhere. Both parties refused fire rescue. Homicide Unit 3132 was advised of the incident. Crime Scene Unit 2123 responded for pictures of the defendant and the victim. Moves contacted, I don't know what that says. And then DCF contacted reference a minor present during the altercation. So here she is, convicted of trying to kill her own mother. Yet she's still able to have her daughter. I mean, I feel like she's dangerous.
At her with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, Road Rash. I'm curious. She either, I don't know. I don't want to assume, but the baby either fell out because the door was opened and, she just kind of fell out, or someone opened the door and purposely tossed her out.
However, recent records show Mills was a victim herself of domestic violence this past May after the father of her children stomped on her face. Mills...
Oh my gosh. Like, this child needs to be away from all of this. This poor baby. So just in April, May, June, July, August. So about 5 months ago. It says on April 15th, 2024, the petitioner states that she was socializing with the respondent's cousin when the respondent arrived. The petitioner states that when she refused to allow the children to go with the respondent, he became agitated and invaded her personal space. Angry, the respondent spit on the petitioner's face, twisted her arm, pushed her to the ground, and stomped on her face. The petitioner suffered injuries to her ear, face, and bottom lip. The petitioner states that the respondent stopped and as he walked away said, "I'm going to end you." Terrified, the petitioner called the police for assistance. The respondent went inside and locked the door. Miami-Dade police officers responded and interviewed the petitioner, but were unable to make contact with the respondent. A police report was filed. No arrest was made.
Requested and a judge granted for her ex to stay away from her family. It's really unclear why that child ended up on the side of the road. It's also unclear if state attorneys plan to charge the woman. We will keep you posted. In Hialeah, Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Unreal. So, and that was just Friday. So I'm going to see. I don't think there were any updates. I did look. Let's see. Yep, so that was the, let's see, this one. Okay, so this article is from yesterday. And this says, mom accused of child abuse neglect after daughter falls out of car in Hialeah. But the daughter had to fall out of the car for some reason. She didn't, like Road Rash said, the 1-year-old didn't open the door herself. A mother is facing charges after she allegedly did not get help for her daughter who fell out of a moving car in Hialeah, which prompted a missing child alert before the girl was found safe. The bizarre incident unfolded Thursday night when Hialeah police said the little girl, who was a passenger in her mother's car, somehow fell out. Dramatic video captured the moment 29-year-old Tashay Mills allegedly grabbed her daughter from a witness who saw the child fall. The concerned witness, who observed the child alone, crying and appearing injured, immediately intervened. While she was on the phone with police, Mills allegedly came back and forcibly took the child from the witness and left without providing further information. I like that description. She forcibly took the child from the witness. Because it was. She yanked that child. Mills is accused of third-degree child abuse and child neglect. She was held on $20,000 bond. And there's her mugshot. Very true, K-Braze. Falling and thrown are two completely different things. Hey, Tooth Fairy, how are you? That's true too. Your lights do come on, especially because this was at night. Your lights come on when the door opens. So she fell out of the window that was down or something else. Good point. That's a good wondering too, if mom didn't expect someone to find and save her so soon. And I'm curious how long. It didn't really say how long it was. It just said, let me see. Did it say? I don't remember it saying. Yeah, it just says the witness saw the baby alone crying and appeared injured. So it doesn't really say how long it had been. But it seemed like mom got there, or, I mean, the woman was on 911. We don't know for how long, the witness. It's just so bizarre. A Ring camera captured the encounter and showed the witness holding the girl while calling police. Hey, are you okay? It's okay. I'm going to sit down. Oh my God. The woman says in the video, hello? I need you to come. I need you to come. Moments later, 2 vehicles pull up and the mother gets out of one vehicle and approaches the witness. "I'm not giving you this baby," the witness yells. "That is my baby," the mother responds as she grabs the child and walks away. "Oh my God, you guys need to come. She effing snatched the baby out of my hands," the witness says into her phone. Police said they tried to get Mills to return to the scene or allow the child to receive medical help, but she failed to do so. On Friday morning, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement issued a missing child alert for the girl. The girl and Mills were eventually found later Friday at an unspecified location, and the girl was taken to Nicholas Children's Hospital. The girl's condition was unknown. But the other article said they were found in 2 different locations. This is saying that they were found, it makes it seem like they were found at the same unspecified location. "We're all very happy, very joyful, but we don't know exactly what her injuries were, and that's why she's on her way to Nicholas Children's Hospital. Mills was in custody, but no charges have been filed yet." And they get into her past record of 2020. She was convicted of punching her mother and launching at her with a kitchen knife. And this past May, the victim of domestic violence, she got a stay away order. Family and friends of Mills told NBC6 that she loves her kids and isn't a bad parent, but they believe she was around the wrong people. They told NBC6 the 1-year-old was going to be with her grandmother Friday night. Okay, so the baby's out of the hospital, it seems, if she's going to be with her grandmother. And we'll watch that again. For those of you who are just coming in, thank you for being here. Meg, they may have video of her falling out. I haven't seen it. And I'm not sure what mom has said. Yeah, I agree, Cape Rays. Thankful that the baby's okay. I agree.
I'm not giving you this baby. That is my baby. Okay, but
Tonight, the little girl you just saw on the screen being snatched from a woman's arms has been found. This video happened moments after that little girl was thrown out of a car, and the woman taking her away is...
And so the fact that they're saying the baby was thrown out of a car, I'm wondering if there is possibly surveillance, but they could just be saying it because this baby was found in the road. I don't know. Is
her
there's
mother.
more questions
Now, after that incident, police sent out an alert.
All right, so we did watch that earlier. I just wanted to show that video again. So mom's in jail. Baby's okay. Just, thankfully she was found and they were able to get her medical attention, because who knows what may have been, what injuries that little baby might have had. Oh man, Twist, I'm sorry. So the next story is in regards to Jordan DeMay, who I did do a live on. It's been a while. And Jordan took his own life after being schemed by Nigerians to send explicit images of himself, which then, a whole sextortion scheme. So this is an update in the Nigerians were sentenced for their crime.
Two Nigerian men sentenced in the sextortion scheme that led to the suicide of a Michigan teen. 17-year-old Jordan DeMay of Marquette died in March of 2022 after investigators say brothers Samuel and Samson Ogoshi pretended to be a young woman on social media, encouraging teen boys and young men like DeMay to send sexually explicit images before blackmailing their victims for money and threatening to send those photos to their friends, family, and classmates. The brothers pleaded guilty.
And this is the scary thing. These men were extradited from Nigeria to the United States. They were able to do all of this hundreds of miles away, thousands of miles away. It's really scary. And there's actually a scam going around with the U.S. Postal Service. I got a text. I've actually gotten 2 text messages, and I keep blocking the number it's coming from, but they keep coming through where it says something with your package, the address is missing information, click this link, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, don't click the link because they're trying to get your information. But it's scary what people can do regardless of where they are.
To conspiracy to sexually exploit minors. They were sentenced to 17 and a half years. After the proceedings, the prosecuting attorney shared why this case is so groundbreaking. TV5's James Felton joins us now with more. James?
Mark Totten, who is the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, called today a very significant day.
It sends a message to every criminal or would-be criminal around the world that wherever they are, we will chase them down and we will find them to hold them accountable.
Mark Totten, the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, was joined by Jordan DeMay's mother, father, and stepmother outside the federal courthouse in Marquette. In March 2022, 17-year-old Jordan died by suicide after falling victim to a sextortion scheme that Samuel and Samson Ogoshi were part of. The Nigerian men who pled guilty to conspiracy to sexually exploit minors were sentenced to 17 and a half years in federal prison. Marquette.
So that tells me because they probably took a plea, they pled guilty for 17 and a half years in prison. And I don't remember how old these men were. Let's see. They don't look very old, but oops. I want to see. So they are brothers. I want to see if they say how old they are. 22 and 20. So one is 22, one is 20. Not much older than Jordan was. Jordan was 17.
To 17 and a half years in federal prison. Marquette County investigators believe the popular high school senior sent nude pictures of himself over Instagram in return for pictures sent to him. He thought he was talking with a teenage girl. It was a trap. The person on the other end demanded DeMay send $1,000 or the pictures would go to family and friends. But DeMay could only come up with $300. Hours later, he died by suicide.
Samuel.
And it makes me, I remember covering this story, and it was hard to talk about, but I feel like this is happening a lot more often than people know. And he thought it was a teenage girl. How would they have known his family and friends' information, or to send it to, his friends? Were they just looking for money? Would they really have sent the photo to his loved ones and friends? I don't know. But unfortunately, Jordan thought it was going to happen, and instead of feeling humiliated, he couldn't bear it, and he took his own life. It's really sad. Right, Cabers. That's what I'm wondering. They could have just been bluffing, but, you know. Hey, Sunday Doodles. I wish Jordan knew the jokes and shame would have died down in time. But I can understand it to a point. You're, especially, if you don't want to disappoint your parents. And I don't know, it's such a hard thing to deal with.
And Samson Ogashi were
Hey,
part of
Troll.
a scheme that even encouraged Jordan DeMay to take his life when he could no longer give them money.
According to court records, this is the first time Nigerian nationals have been extradited to the U.S. to face justice as part of a sextortion scheme.
I think there has been a sense for a long time in some of these other countries that you could commit these crimes and altogether escape justice, that you could hound victims, that you could pretend to be somebody you're not, that you could make demands about money, that you could encourage people to take their lives, and that you could be essentially immune from justice. What happens today makes very clear that if that day existed in the past, it does not exist anymore.
A third Nigerian national, Ezekiel Robert, is also charged in the sextortion scheme that resulted in the death of Jordan DeMay. A Nigerian court has ordered Robert to be extradited to the United States. He has appealed that decision, and the matter is before the High Nigerian Court.
Interesting. So there's a third man who is appealing his extradition. I hope that his appeal is denied, because he needs to be held responsible for what he did. Here it is. Troll says, this happened to a guy that I had worked with on Facebook. He was sending money till I talked to him about it, wondering why he was broke by Monday every week. He was threatened pics would go to family to humiliate him. I told him to delete his Facebook and tell his family whatever he had to. Oh, I know, Sunday. And I'll let me make myself a note. I will share, if anyone's interested in learning more about Jordan's story, I will share the live that I did on my community page after this live. All right, I just made myself a note.
Back to you.
Thank you, James. U.S. Attorney Totten also unsealed the federal indictment in a separate case against 5 defendants accused of facilitating that sextortion scheme. The men from Georgia and 1 from Alabama are accused of controlling the designated financial accounts for the scheme. Prosecutors allege they would keep.
Whoa, I don't remember that back when I covered this. I don't remember talking about U.S. citizens being also involved. So 4 from Georgia, 1 from Alabama controlled the monetary aspect of all of this.
A portion of the victim's money and then convert the rest into Bitcoin to send to an unindicted Nigerian co-conspirator who would then send it to the sextortionists. The 5 are accused of laundering more than $178,000.
Holy crap, $178,000? So that makes me ask, how many victims did these people have? How many people were affected or handed over money to this scheme so that they wouldn't have photos released? Yes, Georgia, the state, not the country. Yes.
charged with conspiring to commit money laundering, which carries a maximum of 20 years. An arraignment will be scheduled in Grand Rapids in the coming weeks.
Grand Rapids. All right, so I'm going to have to look more into this. We'll have to revisit Jordan's case. One second, sorry, I'm making a note to look up about these. Actually, I'll do it right now. Let's see. Oops. Here we go. Okay, so this is from the United States Attorney's Office, Western District of Michigan. 5 U.S.-based defendants charged with money laundering conspiracy that facilitated foreign sextortion scheme. And this was back on August 2nd. U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, Mark Totten, today announced the unsealing of a federal indictment charging 5 U.S.-based defendants with conspiring to commit money laundering that facilitated the previously announced foreign sextortion scheme, resulting in the death of Jordan DeMay, a 17-year-old high school student from Marquette, Michigan. Every day, Americans fall victim to financial scams, including sextortion, romance scams, and consumer fraud. Senior citizens, children, and teenagers are especially vulnerable. The result of these crimes can be devastating, as the death of Jordan DeMay makes painfully clear. Today's charges send a loud and clear message that we will chase down everyone who enables these crimes, including the U.S.-based money launderers. In November 2022, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Michigan charged 3 Nigerian nationals in a sextortion scheme that resulted in the death of Jordan DeMay, a 17-year-old high school student from Marquette, Michigan, and targeted more than 100 other victims. 2 of the 3 defendants in that case were extradited to the United States in August 2023 and pled guilty in April 2024. The indictment announced today as a separate but related case that charges the following 5 U.S.-based defendants with a single count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Jonathan Demetrius Green, 32, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Jarrell Davon Williams, 31, McDonough, Georgia. Dinsmore Guyton Robinson, 30, Huntsville, Alabama. Kendall Orman London Jr., 32, Lithonia, Georgia. And Brian Keith Coldman Jr., 30, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Okay, so I will share this if anyone's interested in reading the rest, but I was just curious about the Americans involved. So 100 other victims. 100 other victims. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad they are. All right. So the next story is, or the next clip, I should say, is just the latest on, not necessarily the latest, because it is a very fluid situation. The interstate shooter in Kentucky on I-75. This was a witness account, and they also give some updates in it. Hey, Pookie, thanks for being here.
happening tonight. The search continues for the person involved.
Wow,
in the
that
shooting
volume is
on
really low.
I-75 yesterday evening. Laurel County, Kentucky authorities say Joseph Couch is now considered a suspect. An SUV registered to Couch was found off exit 49 on I-75 Saturday night. And this afternoon, the sheriff's office says an AR rifle was recovered near his vehicle. Authorities say last night, a gunman shot into 9 vehicles on the interstate. 5 people were shot and seriously hurt. 10 News reporter Aaron Velasquez spoke to a woman who was driving on the highway at that same time.
And I can't imagine. I feel like this has happened before. But it was a road rage incident where a guy got out of his car, but I think that guy I don't think he had a gun. I think he had a knife. And that wasn't too long ago. He was like running around the interstate trying to hurt people.
And says her vehicle was hit by that
Oh, thank you,
gunfire.
Troll.
Shay, Christina DeNoto and her friend were driving home from Rochester to New York to Houston, Texas, when she says she heard what sounded like a loud bang while passing through the London, Kentucky area. When she later stopped in Knoxville, she noticed her car was damaged.
We were driving, and all of a sudden we just heard like a loud, almost like an explosion.
Christina DeNoto and her friend Jeremy were driving down I-75 Saturday night around London, Kentucky, when she says her car was struck by what she describes as a ricochet from the bullets.
So I have quite a bit of experience with shooting, and it definitely sounded loud like a gunshot to me.
She describes how she saw the car next to her pull over and heard a loud noise coming from the passenger side of her car.
If I had to guess what happened, I would think that the white truck next to me got hit, and that's why he pulled over and the bullet ricocheted and hit my vehicle.
How scary is it to say that out loud?
It's very scary. Like last night going to bed, I was like, oh my God, we could have, died or something,
She drives a Toyota 4Runner and says when she got to
Oh my gosh. So she had a section on her tire, a section here that looks like, I'm not sure exactly where, and then another part here. Yeah, that is a long trip, Rochester to Texas. I used to drive from where I am to Wichita, Kansas. That took, I mean, if we drove straight through, which we normally didn't, it took about 22 hours. It was a long drive. And then I did it once. And then I was like, nope, I'm flying. I'm flying the rest of the time. No way.
Last night, she noticed the damage on her vehicle.
Right here, it's a pretty big, like, divot, I mean, like the size of my finger. And these are thick rims, and this would not happen from, a rock or something like that. The paint is chipped off right here, right above the tire. So there's the tire, and then there's the paint chip. And then back here, there's another, sorry, the sun glare. There's another,
oh my gosh.
These weren't here before.
DeNoto thinks it was divine intervention that she and her passenger were not hurt.
Count your blessings and make sure, that you're always aware of your surroundings and don't take anything for granted, even if you're just out and about. It's a crazy world we live in.
Wow, a very scary situation for sure. So, Aaron, how did Christina know that it really was that shooting?
Yeah, Shay, she didn't even realize the scope of the situation until her friend Jeremy got a call about an hour later from his dad. She says she spoke to state police in Kentucky last night to report the damage and is waiting on their response.
All right. Thanks so much, Aaron. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. It is a crazy story. To just start shooting at cars on the interstate? Like, people are crazy. People are crazy. Yeah, for sure. And each one of those could have been potentially took the life of somebody. And thank goodness no one was, killed. But I actually stopped at my parents today, and I was telling my dad about it. He hadn't even heard about it. And my parents still have cable. They watch the news every night, the national news. They had no idea that this was going on. And I'm thinking, I feel like this is something, it appears police believe they have him contained. They have the area where they believe he is, but he could have been long gone. He could have been anywhere. You know, I think of Danilo Cavalcante. He didn't have a car the whole time, and he got pretty far. He was, you know, he was like a little ninja. This guy had a car. Yeah, DC Sniper. That was, gosh, that was a while ago too, wasn't it? All right, where's my, hold on a second. Here we go. All right, so that was just an update on that. I haven't really been following it too much, but I check in, you know, every so often just to see where they're at. So the next clip is in regards to Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia, where the 14-year-old Cole, oh my gosh, I forgot his last name. Oh my gosh, it totally escaped me. Anyways, the shooter, the 14-year-old, Gray, thank you, Glow. Cole Gray. His dad is Colin Gray. It is reported that his mother called the school the day of the shooting about 30 minutes prior to the incident. And there's other reports that the school got confused because there is another student at the school whose name is Colton. But again, that is just alleged. I feel like last name would be different, so that would be an indicator, but this is really sad. I mean, there's a lot of sad things in this story that I feel this did not have to happen. It shouldn't have, well, none of them should happen, but this especially, this kid was on the FBI's radar a year ago. And even after that, dad decides, oh, I'm going to buy him, and I always get him confused. Sinner, it's an AR, correct? AR. I keep saying AK. It's an AR, I believe. I get them confused. Gun is gun. Kids should not have them. So this is, you know, the more information coming out, the more it's just this kid. There's no reason why this should have happened.
Now to the Georgia school shooting, and we are learning much more now about what happened that morning. The alleged shooter's mom reportedly calling the school with a warning just a half hour before that shooting. And ABC's Faith Abube is in Winder, Georgia this morning. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Gio. Lots of questions this morning about whether the suspect's mother called the school with an ominous warning the morning of the shooting. This as we're also learning that the suspect allegedly shot 13 people in just over a minute.
Holy crap. And school resource officers arrived in 2 minutes. So 13 people in 1 minute. That's, you know, it's not even, but it's about one person every 4.5 seconds. One person every 4.5 seconds got shot. Thank you, Sinner. Yeah, I keep getting it confused. Glow, in this case, his dad gave it to him for Christmas. It was a gift. Even after a threat on Discord was traced to his home. And so that's why dad is also being charged. Dad is culpable. Dad is definitely culpable in this.
This morning, new details emerging about the suspect in the Georgia high school shooting from family members and a classmate about what they say happened the morning of the shooting. Cole Gray's aunt.
Oh, sorry. I didn't really realize it was rhetorical, Glow. Gotcha.
telling ABC News details first reported in the Washington Post that the 14-year-old's mother called a school counselor the morning of the shooting to warn them about an extreme emergency. The Post reporting that the suspect's mother texted her sister, saying she told the school counselor to go immediately and find her son to check on him. The 10-minute call apparently came at 9:50 a.m., according to the suspect's aunt, nearly a half hour before the suspect allegedly opened fire.
You don't think like the kid that sits next to you in class is just gonna like shoot up your school one day?
16-year-old Lila Sayarith says the suspect walked out of her class minutes later, appearing back at the classroom door, trying to get back in. Barrow County Sheriff Judge Smith confirming the shooting lasted about a minute. According to authorities, 2 school resource officers then finding the suspect, allegedly holding an AR-15 style rifle.
They ended the carnage at that distance. With what he had and what we had, it was a no-win situation.
Smith says local law enforcement agents quickly arrived at the scene thanks to an emergency alert system the county installed just 1 week.
And the twist, to answer your question, anyone know if this has been confirmed? The family is stating that this is what happened. I haven't been able to find where law enforcement or the school itself has confirmed this happened. But according to the family, the mom did call. And I just want to remind this because this technology that the teachers at the school had with the panic button on their badge, every school in this nation needs to have this.
It was a no-win situation.
Smith says local law enforcement agents quickly arrived at the scene thanks to an emergency alert system the county installed just 1 week earlier. The system, a badge given to each teacher with a button on it like this one. When pushed, it acts like GPS, pinpointing exactly where the emergency is happening in the building.
26 teachers hit that button. It's a
20,
school.
26 teachers hit that button. 26 in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So from activation to the time that resource officers were able to get this 14-year-old, 26 teachers hit their button.
It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a safe place for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheriff says he's not aware of any alleged phone calls to the school warning them before the shooting. The school district declined to comment. In the meantime, though, the suspect was in court on Friday, but did not enter a plea. Janae?
Certainly raising even more questions. Faith, thank you.
I figured the school wouldn't have a comment. I'm guessing there's probably a lot going on there. Sunday, that I have not heard anything about him being bullied or harassed. I have not heard that. Okay, so that was just a quick clip that I had seen in regards to that. The next clip has to do with the shooting at the Joppatown High School. It started with a fight in the boys' bathroom. It ended in one student being shot. And unfortunately, that student did not make it. The suspect is in custody. And this talks about, the title of this suspect in Joppatown High School shooting had 10 prior contacts with police. And he was 16. He was 16 years old.
That student victim is 15-year-old Warren Curtis Grant. We're told he lived in the Edgewood community in Harford County. It was loved by his friends, family, and teachers. Now, his alleged killer, a 16-year-old, was taken into custody shortly after that initial gunshot was fired. But the lingering question tonight, why and how did this happen? WJZ on your corner in Joppatown tonight with team coverage. Christina Mendez spoke with neighbors in that area. But let's begin with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren with the very latest on the investigation tonight. Mike, good evening.
Rick, charges are expected soon against the 16-year-old suspect. The sheriff says he should be charged as an adult.
I agree. I agree. And I may be in the minority, but I believe that if you commit an adult crime, you should be charged to do adult time, especially when it comes to taking someone else's life. There's no aging out, because, for example, this 14-year-old in Georgia, he's charged in juvenile court. He'd be out when he's 18. They should be charged as adults.
Been an extraordinarily difficult day for this community, for this school. And you can see there are memorial candles still burning on the campus tonight.
I know it's chaotic. We got to start organizing here.
The school is on lockdown.
One juvenile male got one to the belly. As soon as EMS gets here, need a stretcher and we can move him.
Heartbreak at Joppatown High School after a 15-year-old student, Warren Curtis Grant, died after he was shot with a single bullet.
Terrible.
His principal rushed to the first floor bathroom where the violence unfolded.
First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with the family of this amazing young man, with his friends, with all of our staff members, with all of our students.
Chilling images show students after they evacuated the school.
People were running past me, someone ran out of the school. Then we both heard the gunshot and we saw the dude drop down. People were surrounding them. I think someone screamed, "He got."
And, I have the question, did this school have metal detectors? Because we heard from some students at Appalachia that the school did not have metal detectors. And I did see a comment earlier about, how he, did he bring, the gun in and then he hid it and then he went back to get it? Based on what many students in his class stated, is that he had asked to use the bathroom, and when he returned, when he was knocking on the door to be let back in, they noticed he had a gun and would not open the door. Not, has not been verified, but I don't have any reason to believe that these kids would lie. So it is possible that he put it somewhere and then went to get it and did what he did.
Got shot, so I ran into the gym.
So I just heard a big bang. Everyone just started running.
It's very scary. You want to lock your children up and just keep them safe. But, you can't. You have to send them to school. But it's hard.
The 16-year-old suspect fled, but police quickly arrested him. They have yet to find the weapon.
That's something the investigators will be looking at. How did he get his hands on this gun?
The sheriff says the suspect has had 10 prior contacts with police over the past 2 years. He criticized a state law that prevents him from interviewing the teen because of his age.
We have a person who we're going to be charging as an adult for committing a heinous crime in a school, and we're not allowed to talk to him.
I agree. That's not okay. If you're charging someone as an adult, even though they are a minor, you should be able to question them. They took someone's life. I agree with the sheriff.
Is lunacy.
Counselors will be available to students who go through regular drills in the event of a school shooting. Few thought the violence that has touched other campuses nationwide would impact their community in Harford County.
Our hearts are breaking for the victim and this victim's family. The circumstances are absolutely terrible, and this should not be happening in schools.
You are looking live at some of the flowers at the front door of Joppatown High School. The superintendent says a decision on whether to open Monday will be made over the weekend. This was only the 4th day of the school year.
And I did read that the high school, Joppatown High School, will be closed until Thursday. So they will not be reopening school until this coming Thursday, which I feel is good because, you know, why kids have to resort to weapons? It was a fight. Just fight. This 16-year-old had to pull out a gun and shoot this other kid. For what? It's bizarre to me. That is possible, K-Braze. It is possible. They commit really bad crimes before they're 18 because they know they won't be in that much trouble. I mean, they'll be in trouble, but they'll age out. They'll age out. And that's really sad. That's really sad. All right, so we have 2 more stories, and these are a little bit more, I don't want to say lighthearted, but the next story has to do with a freak MRI accident. Here's a photo. So for anyone who has had an MRI before, I have had many. You should not have any metal or magnetic things on your person. So they always ask, you know, do you have any foreign objects in your body, any metal, etc.? And I say no, because not that I know of, not that I know of. Well, in this case, somebody didn't do their due diligence. Yeah, and unfortunately, the patient was in the MRI machine when this happened. I would be freaking out. And reading about it, because I saw this story earlier, and so I was kind of looking into, you know, MRI accidents. This happens quite often, which is even more scary, because even I know that you should not have any metal or anything that could be magnetized in, like, because there's the room, like there's the room where the MRI is. You have like the room outside, but then once you go into the room, there should be no metal.
A wheelchair in an MRI machine, narrowly missing a patient who was on the...
I mean, I can't get over this photo. Yeah, all your piercings out, you know, your belt, even, you know, sometimes I forget about my Fitbit, but that has metal on it. So, oh my goodness, Georgia Peach. I was an X-ray tech and managed the imaging department the last 12 years of my career. We had an oxygen tank lodge into our MRI. Holy crap. Oh, good point, K-Braze. I didn't even think about that. That's why they use titanium. Oh, no patient on your table when your incident happened. Oh my God, I can't imagine. Oops. Come on, mouse.
The MRI bed at Sutter Health's Mountain View Center Imaging on April 1st. These are photos provided to KTVU.
Oh, wow. So that was May, June, July, August, September, 5 months ago. And I just saw this. Let me see. Oh, wait, I'm on slides. I think it was just recently they posted this story.
After the incident, Tobias Gilk, a consultant on MRI safety, says it was reported to him by a witness
that there was a patient on the table, and that this trainee brought the...
Yeah, the whole thing is a magnet, Meg. The whole thing is a magnet. It's magnetic. I can't pronounce the second word a lot. starts with an R. Resigning imaging. Let me look up. If I see it, I think I can pronounce it better. Resonance, magnetic resonance imaging. So it uses radio waves and magnetic fields. So like the whole thing is a magnet.
Non-MRI wheelchair into the room, that the magnet attracted it and it went flying at the scanner.
K-Braze, you're making a lot of good points. Where's the one you just said? Where did it go? Oh, here. Good thing it was a square object trying to go into a round hole. That's someone that we'd be talking about would try to do something like that. That's true. I mean, I think of, Georgia had talked about the oxygen tank. I mean, that could have gone inside, depending on where it, ended up. Super scary.
Gilk says there are standard practices and minimum training information for people who work in the MRI environment.
My frustration comes out of the fact that these are almost 100% preventable through existing best practices.
Yeah,
And Dr. Stephanie
is
Tan, a
100%
radiologist in
preventable.
Canada and MRI expert, says she believes safety protocols were not followed.
It's not standardized anywhere, not in the States, not in Canada, not in the Europe either. The way that's not standardized, the reporting is not standardized.
KTVU struggled to get clarity from multiple regulatory authorities about reporting standards, such as the California Department of Public Health, which told us its radiological health branch was informed through a public inquiry of an incident involving magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, at a healthcare facility in Mountain View, California. However, because MRI is outside RHB's jurisdiction, RHB referred the matter to the California Medical Board for follow-up. The California Medical Board told us to ask CDPH because it does not, quote, oversee these types of medical offices. The site is accredited through the American College of Radiology. Sutter Health sent us this statement via email. Ensuring the safety and excellence of our patient care is always our top priority. Unfortunately, accidents can occur. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured and correct.
I get it was a mistake. It was an accident. But a wheelchair normally is made out of metal. And I can understand bringing the patient in, you get them on the table, but then you remember to bring the chair out of the room. You put it outside the room.
Corrective action was promptly taken. We adhere to strict standards and report to the appropriate oversight and accreditation bodies as required. When incidents like this happen, we conduct thorough reviews to identify opportunities for learning and improvement. We take safety very seriously and are consistently enhancing best practices to support our patients and team members. But when we requested a report, the American College of Radiology said they don't comment on specific local site matters. An ACR spokesperson told us people can report.
Ooh, that one's an open MRI. Those, I like the open MRIs much better than like the tunnel ones. The tunnel ones are, I usually end up falling, I know it's hard to believe, I do end up falling asleep. But the open ones are so much
incidents.
better.
And accredited sites are subject to unannounced visits, but they do not regulate medical sites, and sites are not required to report issues, failures, or injuries. But this is just the most recent in a string of potentially dangerous.
Like, oh, so the seat actually, so this is the seat. So the seat actually, like, flew up or like towards us. So the seat is actually this part, and then you have the four wheels. That is wild.
Dangerous incidents. Late last year, we reported on 2 incidents at Kaiser Permanente.
Whoa. Was that a hospital bed? Hold on.
Year, we reported.
What? That is a hospital bed. I think. Yeah, because there's the wheels, there's the arm things. What the heck? K-Braze, interestingly enough, it depends on the hospital I go to. The hospital that I would prefer to go to doesn't have music. So, but another one does have you listen, like gives you music. So some do, some don't. They all should. I know a Prius. Like a hospital bed?
Reported on 2 incidents at Kaiser.
Oh, so this must be the other side of the hospital bed. Oh. And I mean, with the MRI, I hope that patient, even with the wheelchair, I hope the patient wasn't hurt because your whole body doesn't go into the tube. Well, I guess depending on where the MRI is, but they could have been seriously injured.
Permanente facility in Redwood City. One in February, when reports show a hospital bed was brought into the scan room and flew into the machine, injuring a nurse. Another in March 2015.
Oh my gosh.
Where a medical equipment cart got stuck into the scanner. Photos provided by Gilk show multiple incidents reported to CDPH. One just outside of LA in Whittier in January, and another at Simon Med in Beverly Hills. And back in 2016, at a facility in San Diego, an elderly man died after an MRI incident. And while fatal incidents are rare,
let me just go back. So it was during a CT scan, Kaiser Foundation Hospital, 82-year-old man.
Facility in San Diego, an elderly man died after an MRI incident. And while fatal incidents are rare, radiologists say the number of failures are on the rise.
It's kind of expected that it's a problem because there's an increasing number of MRIs being performed every year. We're up to 30 million in the States.
Gilk says there should be
Wow,
an
30
agency which
million
standardizes
MRIs.
reporting and enforces consequences.
I think that there's an obligation on the part of the state, one form or another, to make sure that, you know, the citizens of the state of California, when they go seeking healthcare, that they are assured some minimum levels of quality and safety.
Consequences and corrective action were not disclosed in this case, but in other cases, the state has issued fines to medical facilities that have failed to provide a safe environment for patients and staff. In Mountain View, Crystal Bay.
Wow. And then here's the story. I'm not going to play this one, but where the nurse was injured because, and it shows the hospital bed. Crazy. Hey, 10, how are you? Hey, Cocoa Puff, thanks for being here. All right, so we have one last story, and this one is a feel-good story. And this is the story of a stepdad and his, well, dad and his stepdad and his son, after a dramatic life-saving rescue. And this is, you may want to get your tissues, some of us. You may want to get your tissues.
Now to a heartwarming story, a reunion for a father and his stepson. In late July, Devin Gardner and his stepson Jordan were on a road trip to Alabama when they crashed in Franklin County. 12-year-old Jordan then walked 2 miles across the interstate in the dead of night to find help and save his stepdad's life. Today, THV11's Carter Thweet was there for the special moment as Devin reunited with Jordan, who he calls his hero.
That was the heartwarming moment Jordan reunited with his stepdad, Devin, at the Eugene Tobin Healthcare Center in North Little Rock. It's not the first time they've seen each other since the accident, But it is the first time Devin's been well enough to get out of bed and come meet his boy, according to Jordan's mom, Trisha.
It made my heart really happy that he was able to do all that.
It was also the first time Jordan's been recognized like this. The staff at the Veterans Hospital giving him a certificate and a medal, calling him a hero. Charlie Hogan is one nurse who's taken care of Devin and says she was touched by the story.
It's an honor to take care of Mr. Gardner. You know, that Jordan went all that way for his dad. You could tell that there was an extremely tight bond between father and son there.
Making Jordan's journey even more incredible, the fact that the 12-year-old has autism and speech aphasia, meaning it's sometimes tough for him to communicate. Adding to that, when he found an officer from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, he thought it was too late.
Was your dad awake when you left?
No, dead.
He's dead?
Yes.
Oh,
But
no.
miraculously, he wasn't. When officers located the...
That's so sad. That's so sad that he thought, you know, his dad wasn't alive.
crash, they heard Devin yelling for help. He says he doesn't remember the crash or anything until he woke up in a hospital a few days later, but he knows Jordan saved his life.
Apparently, I was laying face down on a downgrade in this tall grass.
Wow.
I mean, you're not going to see or notice the car from the highway. If it hadn't been for Jordan finding them and telling them, they would have never found me. Who knows? I would have been, I guess somebody would have found me when I started stinking.
That's why this day was so special to Devin. He was able to see his stepson again and tell him how much he means to him. Understandably, it was an emotional scene.
He's my hero. He's my savior. Hey, we're going to throw football and I'm going to get well. Everything's going to be great, back to normal. We're going to go shoot the shotgun and get some doves and eat them, wrap them in bacon. And it's all because Jordan went walking.
In North Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
What a great story. Thank you, Carter. Devin says the staff at the VA hospital has been incredible helping him recover, and he says he hopes to be out of the hospital next week.
Such a good story. Such a good story. And the fact that he walked 2 miles to find someone to help his stepdad. Well, his dad. I'm just going to say dad. Their bond seems incredible. And to be, be able to go out and meet his son instead of having his son go to his room, good story, good story. I know. And I saw that this afternoon and I was like, this is the story we're going to use to end the live. That's the story we're going to use to end the live because, there's a lot of the stories I talk about aren't so good. They're sad, heartbreaking, tragic, senseless. And it's always good to have a happy story at the end. Oh, Meg, right? Imagine an angel. Yep. And, thank goodness he was able to find a sheriff that was able to help him. And they said he has a hard time speaking to people, and he was able to speak to that sheriff, and thank goodness he was okay enough too. The fact that he didn't seem injured, noticeably injured, and was able to get help, whereas his dad wasn't able to. So thanks everyone for being here. I do appreciate it. I am back to work tomorrow, so definitely make sure notifications are on because I will definitely be live Wednesday night for Wordsy Wednesday, but depending on how tired I am or other things I have going on, I may or may not be live the other days, but I will definitely be live Wednesday for Wordsy Wednesday. So thanks everyone again for being here. If you haven't hit the like, be sure to do so on your way out. And if I don't see you on these YouTube streets, I will see you all on the flip side.
Let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.